Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It's Fatmata here with Traditionally Inspired Meaningful Art, and today we have another weekly Friday Sews video. So thank you again to Jen from Today in Jen's Sewing Room for kickstarting the Friday Sews hashtag, where you can find tons of makers and sewists who are sharing what they've been making over the past week. So in our episode today, I hope to share with you the progress on my wrap dress. I also want to talk about what I've been cutting out this week and my plans throughout the weekend. I am also going to include a little haul of things that I've been picking up here and there over the past 2 weeks or so and show you what I have in store for those pieces. All right, so what I'm currently wearing is Simplicity 8735. This is in my Make 9 plans, and it is a woven wrap dress. I was really excited to dig into this when I picked up this incredible rayon jacquard fabric that I just absolutely fell in love with. It's a really deep teal with these outlines of flowers all over it, with these little punches of a beautiful olive green, some yellow and oranges in the center of the flowers, and I just thought it was so darling. I think I had about maybe like 3 yards of this, and I knew once I picked out this pattern for my Make 9, this woven wrap dress by Simplicity, that it would be a really good pairing. And to be honest, I think yes, it was a good pairing. Today has been hot, and it is not going to be one of the hottest days we have this summer. It is just gearing up for us, and I am a little bit concerned with the level of humidity and heat that I'm in for this summer, and having to layer this with this polyester sort of long sleeve underpinning that I often use throughout the seasons has caused me to have a lot of feelings, okay, a lot of hot feelings. And I am going to be diving into hashtag, sew t-shirts for summer that Sew Joey is running, that challenge this month, because I need some cotton and other sorts of breathable fibered undershirts for sure for these upcoming warm and hot months ahead. Okay, but we're getting off topic. Back to this wrap dress. It is so unfinished. It is completely unfinished, let me just tell you, but I put it on because I needed to watch the playback of this when I was editing to encourage myself to move forward, because I had that little split second where I was like, you know what, Fatmata, you could roll that thing up, put it to the side, and get started on your other make, okay? And I told myself not to do that, because I know that when things go in the naughty pile, it takes a while for me to get them back out. Let me tell you why it ended up in the naughty pile. So this pattern has bust cup sizing. They begin with a B cup, B, C, D, and double D cup options. So I cut the smaller cup option, which is a B cup, and I cut out a size 12 because for Simplicity patterns, that's usually the size that I go with. I knew that by looking at this and through sewing other Simplicity patterns, that even a B cup, which I think is their standard sort of bust cup sizing for their size ranges that I usually purchase, and I knew that even a B cup might be gapey on me, and I think that I am correct. I'm no longer a B cup when it comes to sewing. So where the princess seam of this bodice sort of lands on me is falling sort of to the very outer edge. And if I were not, for example, wearing this with something under it, I feel like this V would try and gape a lot. So one of the things that I think I'm going to do is try and pull that in a little bit. Also, because I fully lined the bodice of this, which is not how you're asked to do this in the pattern, again, me going off script, I somehow inadvertently had the inner lining of this a little bit larger or like wonky. The sizing was just off, right? So you see it pulling all the way outside beyond the outer layer. And I thought, oh, it'll kind of ease into itself. It's fine. And I sewed it like that. I think the rayon probably stretched as I was manipulating it to move it around last week when I sort of put it aside to work on the prom dress and brought it back out, etc. Despite my best efforts to not stretch it, I think it did stretch. And in doing so, what happened is that when I went to then pair them together, it was not working, okay? So a couple of things that I'm going to play with is just re-stitching the neckline. As you can see, I have unstitched this. I seam ripped the neckline. I'm also going to consider narrowing the princess seam. I don't know if that's how if I'm describing it correctly, but I'll like sew further into the princess seam to take in and take up some of that fabric. I need to learn how to do a small bust adjustment eventually, but these pieces are already cut. We're already underway. So I'm just going to do what I need to do. It's particularly the left side that I'm having a bunch of issues with. So I unpicked that side. Some work needs to be done to this to get it to the level where I would be comfortable with it. And I like that the sleeve is a slim sleeve. It's been a while for me to see the silhouette on myself. Everything in recent months and maybe for the past year has been like the balloon sleeve or a really puffy sleeve. So it was nice to kind of see like, oh yeah, just a regular sleeve is also quite nice. And one of the other things that I'm doing, as I mentioned to you, I was going to add this rayon fabric to the inner panel, the left hand panel, so that it can go all the way around. That way when I walk, a gust of wind goes, like I am not freaking out because my bits are everywhere. I didn't want that. So what I'm going to do, and you will see this hopefully in a Makes video sometime, that inner rayon piece goes to about here in the back. And what I'm going to do is put an elastic at the end of that and attach it to the seam right here on the left-hand side, on the inside of this. So that would mean that I would either have to step into this dress or pull it on over my head, but for the security that I'm getting, I will be absolutely fine with that. And if it is unclear what it is that I'm trying to do, it will be made clear to you in the Makes video. Okay, so the sleeves are unhemmed, the bottom is unhemmed. I have to sort of even it out. The rayon did stretch because part of this is cut sort of on the bias to get this really beautiful A-line flowy skirt, but I can tell that I'll be really excited with this once I get some of these adjustments made and then stitch everything back together so that it is actually completed and it's a wearable garment. But I'm looking forward to doing a sleeveless sort of undershirt. I have some white cotton knit fabric that I think I am going to make like an undershirt out of for the summer because I'm finding a lot of little holes in my wardrobe. So it is really timely that Joey from Sew Joey is having this challenge this month. And I think it's one that I will indulge in. And even if I don't do it by June, I know that it is in my summer makes, but hopefully knit projects I think should be easy enough for me to cut a few and get those done this month as well. Hi friends, so I just realized that since we last spoke, it was last Friday and graduation was this past Sunday, and I have just spoken to you about the fact that this dress is unfinished and it was the dress I was intending to wear to graduation. So a quick update, I did not wear this dress to graduation. I ended up going with my 8875 Simplicity hack, the one that I made myself for Mother's Day in that really flowery viscose fabric. And that's what I wore to graduation, just kept it simple. I was working on this dress up until like hours before graduation. And when I realized I still need to drop the kids off at the babysitter and get myself to graduation, I said, you know what, Fatmata? This dress needs more time than you have to give it. Stop. And I'm so glad I did. Otherwise, I would have been later than I was. So I made it to graduation in time, thankfully. Got to see my beautiful, amazing students cross the stage, get their diplomas, celebrate with them, etc. But I did not do so in this dress. More celebrations will come, more days will come, and I will be able to float around in this beautiful make. But it wasn't graduation. Bye. Yes, like I mentioned, I'm really excited to see how this woven wrap dress turns out. I would actually be curious to see how it would turn out in maybe a more structured fabric, maybe a cotton sateen, maybe a cotton of some sort, Ankara fabric even, particularly if it's anything like this dreamy Ankara print that I have cut out my M7974 out of. It is cut and I'm really excited about it. But yeah, I would be excited to see maybe in the future months to come if I would revisit this, because one of the things that does happen for me at least, and it could just be the grain, maybe I didn't find the grain enough or well enough when I was cutting these out, because the rayon jacquard, you can't necessarily follow the thread lines as much because the jacquard print throughout it kind of disrupts the straight up and down or parallel lines. So even the front bit, you can't see this because it's towards the bottom, but I can see this front bit start to like curl. And because the rayon is a different color on the inside, that shows them. So if this were to blow up in the wind, you see the wrong side of the fabric. So I would be interested to see it in like an Ankara or something like that that can really hold the weight of this skirt. But I love this rayon version and cannot wait to get it done. After that, this weekend, hopefully what I am craving to dig into is my M7974 cut out of this glorious Ankara fabric that I was gifted during my wedding by my aunt. Thanks, Auntie Hawa. And I am really excited about it. So if you are not familiar, McCall's M7974 is this darling pattern right here. I've previously made this garment out of a black linen, and I made that in December. And it was awesome. I made view D, so the sleeveless version, and I really enjoyed it. I did omit the collar, but I made view D. Very lovely. So in this version, I have opted to do the length of view D because I loved that longer, like just above maxi length, but a little bit lower than midi length. Unless I added length to this and made it maxi. I can't remember. I will find out when I sew it. But it has pockets and it's gorgeous. Because of how busy and colorful this print is, I did want to include sleeves on it. I guess not because of that fact, but I did want to include sleeves on this because I didn't always want to be looking for a long sleeve shirt to layer with it. And if I can make and bust out a couple of sleeveless like cotton or rayon tencel knit under like camis or shirts to wear under my garments this summer, then I'll be really happy and can layer it with any of these glorious colors. I did some play with the stripes on this too, which I'm going to be really excited to show you all when I actually put it together. But it's all cut out. I made the skirt a little bit fuller, and I would be really excited to kind of tell you more about how I did that in the makes, and when I actually have it made up, maybe in a future Friday sews, I'll get into a bit more detail about how I did that, because it'll be easier to explain if you see the skirt itself and the pattern pieces. But I'm super thrilled that it is cut out. The actual process of cutting it out and sinking the rotary blade into this fabric was such an inviting and warm and amazing experience that it made me really excited to sew, especially after having dealt with this like more fiddly rayon fabric, and it just gave me such an appreciation for like cotton fabric. So it also is getting me a little bit excited about the work that I'll be doing with all of this linen that I have in this corner for the designer inspired dress, and I can't wait to start cutting into that. I am going to have a long weekend. My school will be observing Juneteenth on Monday. So we have that day. I want to go and visit a really great friend of mine on Monday, but I think in the morning or later on that day, hopefully I'll carve out some time to go ahead and cut out that pattern, which will be really exciting. Now, I made some purchases at Joann recently. They've been having quite a few sales in store, and every time they're having really good sales in store, I know that checking out their remnant section is a really good thing to do, because you get bonus deductions if the items that you're picking up happen to also be on sale throughout the store as well. So that's always good. Therefore, I had spotted this really beautiful white cotton fabric with these orchids, I think, that are stitched into it. And it is just so beautiful. I think it's hibiscus, actually. So these hibiscus flowers stitched right into that. And it's just really great. Obviously, this is a really small remnant piece, but there was another bundle of it, so I picked that up too. And together, I think that I can make a really nice summer top with the two of these fabrics. Now, what really bummed me out, because these fabrics, when you purchase them in the remnant section at Joann's, they're already rolled up. The rolls often look something like this. They're bundled up, so it's very tightly wound. And I often try to stick my finger in there and see how opaque the fabric is, if that's something that I'm concerned with. With white fabric, I'm absolutely concerned with that. And I tried to do that, and maybe when I was, putting my finger back there to see, can I see through it? I was probably doing so with 2 layers of fabric without knowing it, because after I got this thing home and opened it up, it is really sheer. It is super sheer. Like, you could probably, can you see my nail color through that? You can at least see like the outline of my hand. Now, I think with tops, sometimes I'm less concerned. Like, I've looked at some ready to wear white button-ups and other tops that I've had. And if I just, in standing, by a window or something, put my hand behind it, being, darker skinned, I definitely see it and I'm like, whoa. But then I put it on anyways with like nude undergarments, and it's fine. It's fine. So I think I'll be fine, but it was something that I was like, why is it so sheer? I wasn't expecting that. So I love the embroidered detail of this, like this hibiscus floral print being embroidered in it. It's just so beautiful. And I cannot wait to make something. I am debating whether or not I want to do a button-up top or something that's just like a swingy, like loose, easy breezy type of top that has like a keyhole opening in the back, or if I want to fiddle with it and do a nice button up that is kind of cool, casual, and awesome. Either way, I think I'm in for a treat when it comes to working with this, and I cannot wait to dig into this project, because white tops are another sort of missing piece that I'm seeing in my wardrobe. And often when I just want a quick look, the type of top that I'm looking for is just a casual white top that I can kind of pair with a number of different things, whether that's jeans, slacks, if I want to dress it up a bit more, to wear under things, to layer with a sweater, maybe, in the cooler months and things like that. So I think it can be a really nice staple and have that added bonus with the pop from the embroidery and be a little bit more special. For the hibiscus cotton fabric, the smaller cut was 0.44 yards of fabric, and then the larger cut was 0.83 yards of fabric. So in total, I have about 1.2-ish yards of fabric, which is nice. So a little over a yard of fabric, and it is, 100% cotton. It's a white hibiscus embroidered, and it's 55 inches wide. Now, to pair with that, what I found in the same kind of white, because as we know, they're different, there are different colors. Okay, so this is a very similar white fabric, and this is what they consider a denim white. So it's 70% cotton, 28% polyester, 2% spandex. Haven't opened this one yet. And I got this just in case I needed some. Here's the stretch. Ooh, wow, that's really spongy and stretchy. Wow, okay. This was 1 yard of this. This could honestly be a shirt on its own. It really could. And I don't know, I definitely feel the polyester more than I thought I would, particularly on the back side of this. So I'll see how hot it makes me if this could be a summer top, but I got it just in case I did want to do a button down top with the hibiscus cotton fabric and wanted to or needed extra fabric, and this I could use as like the yoke and the cuffs or the collar and things like that, just in case I needed a bit more fabric and didn't have enough with that. But I also could see myself using this in a number of different ways, so I didn't mind it. And because it was a full yard, I knew that I could get something really nice out of this. Finally, that day in the remnant section, I also picked up these two denim remnants, one in a lighter color, one in like a more medium denim color. And here I have about 0.8 yards of fabric. And this denim typically is almost $22. Luckily for me, the day that I walked in, I think they were having their Firefly sale, and denim was on sale for $9.99, which is a big deal at Joann's, by the way. So this being in the remnant section meant that I got 50% off of that $9.99 price that it was in store, and because it was under a full yard, this came out to be like about $4 or so. This is about 0.8 yards, and it's in the denim section, but it's actually 90% lyocell and 10% rayon, so it just has that denim coloring, but it's actually a lyocell rayon blend. And yeah, the drape on it is incredible. So what I wanted to do with this was to do like a color blocked denim moment, and because this is such a light fabric like a lyocell, it definitely would work. This is 100% cotton though, this other remnant piece that I picked up, and I have 0.389 yards of it, so just about 0.4 yards of it, so under half a yard. And this was also used to be about $21 per yard, but because again the denims were on sale for $9.99, I got 50% off of that, and because it's so little of it, it was maybe like $3 or something. So it was really nice. And yeah, it's a really small piece, but because it was with the intention of doing some color block with this other beautiful light denim, I was really excited to see what I could come up with, so I could have that denim look but not have the weight of actually wearing a denim top. So if I stumble upon in the remnant section any more sort of these lighter types of denim, then I can have a really fully like color blocked, really cool denim top. So I just actually went to record my Thrifty Thursday sort of portion of this video, and actually I had a lot of things to show you, and I believe that it's best if I just add it as a separate video on its own because it was quite long and I don't want to kind of take up too much of your time today. So I'll have that for you as a separate video. I think you're going to really enjoy the things that I found. But let's do a quick life update. So as far as work is concerned, if you watch previous Friday shows, then you know that I went to prom, I went to graduation, which can only mean one thing: school is out and summer has started. Now, I am a full year employee, so I do have work over the summer and things like that, working with some of my students, just getting them prepared for what next year will bring, but it is much lighter, okay? And I really finally, for the first time today, after like staff week and all of that, feel like, whew, I think things are about to get a little bit lighter and I can sort of focus on other things that I want to be doing. One of the things that I've already begun within my house, which I kind of alluded to, is spring cleaning, summer cleaning. I am just trying to declutter as much as possible. I've been listening to decluttering podcasts. I am listening to all the things. I'm manifesting a very light, airy, breezy, and want my home to kind of reflect that oasis that I know it can be, and I want to help it get there. So I've been getting rid of a lot of stuff that just no longer serve me or my family, and that we can part ways with and let someone else enjoy and utilize them, and think of it more as like re-gifting or sharing that wealth, right, with someone else. So in doing so, I was going through my closet, and oh my gosh, I was so surprised to see how many me-made garments I was willing to let go of, which in past years was actually a really hard thing for me. I think in the past, my items were not necessarily finished as nicely, so maybe I had some thoughts there about whether or not they would actually be utilized if I were to send them off maybe to either a thrift store or to be donated or given in some other way to family, maybe back home, etc. But as I've been getting better about my finishes, I actually think the garments are decent garments, so I wasn't as afraid of re-gifting them. But also, I feel like I recognize that there's so much more potential in the fabric that I am about to, go into. And after having my colors done and just really trying to figure out, do I wear some things? Do I have potential to wear them? Or if based on the fabrication or just how challenging it is for me to wear it, if I won't wear it, then would it be better to serve someone else, right? So I've been parting ways with that, giving it, donating it in various places where I know it will be utilized, and in some other areas, just putting things to the side that I want to repurpose or just getting them out of my house. So that has felt really good, and it's been interesting to see that I can know that I spent a lot of time on those, that they taught me a lot of great lessons, and yet I could still let go of them, which for me in the past was, again, like I said, a really hard thing to do, to part ways with things that I sewed myself. So that was like, wow, you're growing up here. Okay, very well done, Fatmata. So that felt really good. As I've been getting dressed this summer, I have noticed that dresses are my jam, jelly, butter, and bread, and I love it. I love them so much. I do like the V-necks because for some of the patterns that I have, because I'm, doing longer sleeves, doing longer length of the maxis, if I'm not mixing them with other prints, then often I do like V-necks because they give some breathing room where otherwise it would feel very stuffy or choked up with, the print from up to, from the neck all the way down. So I'm trying to find other silhouettes that I like, jumpsuits or other patterns that do have higher necklines, allow for some mixing and matching of prints so that I don't feel like it's too overwhelming, or to find fabrics, maybe in solid colors that I don't mind it being from head to toe in that, so that I would have great dresses to kind of throw on throughout this summer. Because every time that I've had to try and match a top with a bottom, or something isn't ironed or it's wrinkled, etc., it's become much harder for me to get dressed. But I did a huge closet clean out. So much stuff is out of my closet, so I can actually see what I am gravitating towards and utilizing. I put aside about 3 to 4 different items that were in my closet that were never actually finished, that I need to just complete and then determine if I am going to keep them or donate them as well. Which is reinvigorating me to actually finish the things that I start, so that I don't end up with these half-finished projects. We're not even going to talk about the UFOs I already have amassed. I don't want to have any more. So that's why I put on this unfinished wrap dress today to record this Friday sews and remind myself, please, don't give up on this dress. Fix it and finish it and wear it, and you're gonna be so happy. And make a sleeveless undershirt with a high neckline made out of cotton knit to wear with this, because oh my gosh, this is hot. Okay, all right, that's just a note to myself as I'm editing this video because I want to wear this so bad. All right, so I think that is all I have for you today, because I will continue to ramble. I have the power to do that, but I won't. I am going to see if I have a few minutes to edit this video, get it to you on Friday, actually for the first time in weeks, and then see if I have a few minutes to actually work on this dress, and then go pick up my children and begin our wonderful weekend. Let me know how does summer impact your sewing, particularly this one, if you do have some summer plans to travel or get out a little bit more. Otherwise, I really hope that by next Friday sews, you see 2 completed dresses. This one and this one. I cannot wait. I'm really excited about this. I'm really excited. I almost want to just put this down so I can start with that other one and then kind of finish them both at the same time. Am I allowed to do that, please? Please, because I really want to start on that one, because it's cotton and Ankara fabric and a jacquard, and it's beautiful. And that's what I want to do. I don't want to fix this dress right now. I hope you stay creative, friends. Bye-bye.